Hey, this is Captain Paul Brawley with Fish Finder Guide Service. This week we're going to start out over here in the area that is some know it as Deadman's and some know it as Kate's. I don't know what you call it. I call it Deadman's. Anyway, that would be this large body of water right here, right in that hole. What we're going to be doing is looking on the windward shorelines in the off-colored water. We're going to be using either shrimp and corks right on the very edge, or we're going to be off the drop, maybe 100 yards. Say if it's a north wind, you're going to be out in here a couple of 100 yards off this drop on this side, and you're going to be using dead shrimp on the bottom with a 1/8 ounce jig head, and you're going to be looking for black drums. If you're on the very edge, which would be this outside edge right here, you're going to be looking for trout and redfish using popping corks and shrimp. I am still keeping my leader around 15 inches underneath the cork. I'm still using a number 3 Kel hook with the live shrimp hooked through the horn. If it is blowing southeast wind, you're going to look either 100 to 200 yards off of this drop here, and you're going to be doing the dead shrimp on the bottom with the 1/8 ounce jig head. Sometimes I'll peel it in the winter, get it completely peeled, like if you were going to eat it yourself, and I thread it on the hook and put it out there, and I'm looking for redfish and black drum. And once again, if you're fishing this outside ring, you're going to stay in the deeper water, throwing up to the edge, using the popping cork and shrimp as the same method we mentioned earlier. All right, from the Dead Man's area, we're going to run over here into Nighthawk Bay. We're going to be focusing on this area right in here, right through there. What I want you to do is you'll start on this east side if it's a heavy south day building up to a norther, and we're going to be making drifts in this direction here towards the backside of these spoils. And you're going to keep your eye on the bottom. What you're going to be looking at for is smokeouts from redfish and black drum. They'll be making mud spots. When you start getting to little pockets where you're getting 2 and 3 mud spots in a row, you're going to want to power pole down, anchor down, and you're going to want to throw dead shrimp out there or cut bait out there on the bottom, targeting redfish and black drum all through that area there. If it's a north or northeast wind, of course, you're going to be coming back in this direction right here, and you're going to be doing the same thing. This water is going to be very clear in there. So when you're making the drifts, you're going to be keeping your eyes on the bottom, looking for the fish to be running out, and they will make smokeouts. And as you see a couple of them in a row, you know you're in the area, and they're all concentrated in that area. So, and they're not like all the way through there. They're just concentrated in there. So when you come to the area where they are, you could also jump out and start making a wade, throwing, using your down south lures, your bass assassins, all through there. Trying to find the reds, kind of bounce them off the bottom. You should start coming across a lot of reds right in there. But that little area seems to be holding redfish and some black drums right now. You just have to look for the smokeouts. All right, we're going to come out of Nighthawk Bay, and we're going to go straight west to one of my favorite wintertime fishing spots. It is going to be this area right in here. This area is not an area you're going to want to be moving around a bunch in. This area is somewhere you're going to power pole down. You're going to make small 50-yard moves. You're going to be throwing corks out in front of you, and you're going to be popping those corks and looking for black drum, redfish, and trout. You get 3 or 4 bites, maybe more. You're going to pick up your power pole, drift with the wind. You're going to come up and do another 50-yard drift, power pole down. Just keep working those corks. One guy can be on there throwing lures, trying lures on there, and seeing if you can get something on like a purple bass assassin or possibly some darker color with yellowtail of the down south lures. Anyway, all through here, you're just going to be making little moves, real little moves. and the water's it's very muddy in there. The reds and trout and drums, they love that bottom in there, and they'll really stack up in there, especially on your heavy north days. North will be coming back this way, south will be kind of coming back this way. So just that area there, depending on your wind, you're going to play your wind. You're going to get the wind to your back, and you're going to be throwing corks and lures through there, but you're going to be making very small, methodical moves. Coming out of there, if you want to come over here and check this western drop right here a little later in the day, where there'll be a little bit of off-colored water out a little bit, 200 yards off the grass beds, and kind of make your drifts through here, whether it be northeast, southeast, straight north, from a north wind, going south from a north wind. You're going to be throwing lures in there primarily, darker colors, bouncing them off the bottom, and you're going to be looking for those trout to pick them up. I like using a 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce jig head depending on the wind conditions, and I really love your darker purples, darker reds, any type of darker colors, chartreuse tails. I'm not really keen on using the brighter yellow tails. Pumpkin seed works real well with the green tail. A lot of bass assassins in there are your darker down south lures that have that really long floppy tail on it. You will pick up some very quality trout. I would do that more in the afternoon though. Anyway, you guys be courteous to each other. Take care. Until next time.